Today, we are analyzing all the actors who played Spider-Man on the live-action silver screen. Today, we are talking about the Amazing Spider-Man and why we love Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Before we begin, subscribe and check out our Patreon. He was the Spider-Man many didn't know they needed. Criticized at first, then missed, and finally resurrected as a legend. Andrew Garfield's journey as the web-slinger is one of the most fascinating redemptions in superhero cinema. So why, years after his last solo film, has he become arguably the people's favorite Spider-Man? Let's rewind. When Andrew Garfield first donned the suit in The Amazing Spider-Man, he brought something to the table that was straight off the page. This was a Peter Parker who was authentically awkward, not a caricature. A brilliant, observant kid who used wit as both a shield and a weapon. Garfield nailed the motor-mouth, neurotic energy straight from the classic Stan Lee and Steve Ditko comics. His Spider-Man felt truly like your friendly neighborhood hero, checking in on a kid, reassuring New Yorkers. There was a warmth, a humanity in his street-level interactions that resonated deeply. But a hero is defined by more than quips. Garfield gave us a Peter Parker of profound emotional vulnerability. You felt his guilt, his rage, his desperate hope, and nothing showcased this more than his relationship with Gwen Stacy. Played with palpable, real-life chemistry by Emma Stone, this romance was the emotional core of his films. It felt modern, intelligent, and tragically destined, which made its conclusion one of the most iconic and devastating moments in Spider-Man lore. Land with unparalleled force. Garfield's performance in that grief is haunting. He didn't just play Spider-Man, he played a Spider-Man forever shaped by loss. Let's talk about the spider in Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is a trained gymnast, and it showed. His movement was pure arachnid elegance, a loose, joyful, almost dance-like physicality. Unlike a more rigid superhero pose, Garfield's Spider-Man flowed. He looked like he was having the time of his life web-slinging, and that joy was infectious. He wasn't just wearing the suit, he was inhabiting it from the inside out. And then, silence. For years, it seemed his story was over. Until the spell was cast in Spider-Man: No Way Home. This wasn't just a cameo, it was narrative therapy. The film gave us an older, wounded Peter, still burdened by his guilt. We saw the humor return, but also the pain. And then, the universe gave him a second chance. That moment, saving MJ, wasn't just about helping Tom Holland's Peter. It was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man finally catching his Gwen. It was cinematic redemption. The audience's roar in theaters was for the healing of a character we'd all mourned. It transformed him from the underrated Spider-Man to the beloved Spider-Man. So why is Andrew Garfield the people's favorite? He is the perfect synthesis. The comedic spirit of the comics, the raw emotional heart of the tragedy, and the athletic grace of the hero. He is the Spider-Man who feels the most real in his joy and his sorrow. His legacy proves that sometimes a character's journey isn't defined by how it starts, but by the depth they gain along the way. What do you think? Is Andrew Garfield your favorite Spider-Man? Let's discuss in the comments below. Was Spider-Man: Homecoming a bad movie? The short answer is no. It's widely seen as one of the stronger Spider-Man films. But let's get into why. On the positive side, the movie brilliantly avoided rehashing the origin story for a third time. Instead, it gave us a truly young and awkward Peter Parker trying to balance high school life with superhero duties. Michael Keaton's Vulture is often praised as one of the MCU's best villains, a grounded blue-collar character whose motivation stems directly from the fallout of the Avengers battles. The stakes were refreshingly street-level, keeping Spider-Man true to his friendly neighborhood roots. On the other hand, some fans strongly criticized the film for making Peter too dependent on Iron Man. The high-tech suit, complete with an AI assistant, made some feel like Peter was less of a self-made hero and more like Iron Man Jr. The tone was also noticeably lighter and more comedic compared to previous Spider-Man films, which left some viewers missing the emotional weight and personal struggle that defined earlier versions of the character. In the end, Homecoming isn't a bad movie. It's just a different interpretation. It's a fun, coming-of-age story set inside the MCU. Whether you prefer this version or a more classic, independent Spider-Man comes down to personal taste. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you love the MCU's take, or do you prefer a more traditional Spider-Man? Now let's talk Spider-Man, Far From Home. Was it a worthy follow-up, or did it get lost in the multiverse hype before the multiverse was even cool? Here's the case for it. First off, it's the first MCU film after Endgame, and it tackled the blip and post-Thanos trauma with surprising heart through the lens of a teenager just wanting to confess his feelings on a school trip. That's clever. Then there's Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal brought the perfect mix of charm and menace. The illusion sequences, especially the nightmare-fueled drone attack, are some of the most visually creative moments in any Spider-Man film, straight out of the comics. And the theme? It was all about truth versus illusion, and who you trust when the world's heroes are gone. Peter stepping up, building his own suit, and finally embracing his role as the next Iron Man. That's huge character growth. But here's the case against it. A lot of fans felt the Iron Man's successor arc was pushed too hard. Did Peter really need another father figure in Happy, and that instant kill drone army he almost unleashed? That's a far cry from the responsibility-powered hero we know. Some say the high school abroad plot felt too light, even filler-like, between the cosmic stakes of Endgame and what was coming next. And yes, that post-credit scene, Mysterio framing Spider-Man and revealing his identity, was a game-changer. Some loved the bold swing, others thought it was a cheap shock that forced the next plot. The Marvel and DC connected verdict. Far From Home isn't a bad movie. It's a fun, clever, and visually stunning chapter that had the tough job of following Endgame. It gave us one of the best live-action Spider-Man villains ever and pushed Peter Parker into uncharted territory. But whether you love it or not depends on how you feel about Spider-Man stepping into Iron Man's shadow and whether you're ready for a Spider-Man whose secret is out. Let's hear your take below. Was Mysterio a masterstroke or a missed opportunity? Did the Iron Man legacy help or hurt Peter's story? Was Spider-Man No Way Home a cinematic masterpiece or just a brilliantly executed piece of fan service? Let's break it down. The case for masterpiece. This movie did the impossible. It served a thrilling, multiversal crisis while staying emotionally centered on Peter Parker. Bringing back past villains and Spider-Man wasn't just a stunt, it was a narrative tool. Each villain got redemption, and seeing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield return wasn't just a cameo, it was a powerful moment of mentorship and healing, especially Andrew saving MJ. The core theme, Peter choosing ultimate responsibility and sacrifice, even at the cost of everyone he loves, is the purest distillation of, with great power comes great responsibility, we've ever seen in the MCU. That ending is brutal, beautiful, and resets Spider-Man to his classic struggling roots. The case for just fan service. The argument is that the entire plot is built on a massive contrived spell from a careless Doctor Strange, just to enable the crossover. Some feel the first half is a bit messy, rushing to get the villains into one universe. The emotional weight, critics say, relies heavily on your nostalgia and attachment to the previous films, not on the story built solely within the MCU. Without that pre-existing love, is it still as powerful? The Marvel and DC connected verdict. No Way Home is both. It is the ultimate piece of fan service, executed with genuine heart and a profound respect for Spider-Man's legacy across 20 years of films. It used that spectacle not just for cheers, but to tell a definitive story about grief, guilt, and growth. It fixed past regrets, like Garfield's Spider-Man, and gave Tom Holland's Peter his most devastating and heroic arc yet. It's not just a cameo fest, it's a love letter that remembered to include a great story. But what do you think? Was it a perfect conclusion to the Home trilogy, or did it rely too much on nostalgia? Let's debate in the comments. Tobey Maguire. We've seen the charming high flyer in Tom Holland, the slick acrobat in Andrew Garfield. But what is it about Maguire's Peter Parker that for so many of us feels like the definitive take? Does this early 2000s creation hold up against the mega-budget, universe-building spectacles of today? Let's rewind the film reel. First and foremost, Raimi and Maguire understood the core assignment. Peter Parker comes first. Tobey was Peter Parker. The genius wasn't in making him cool or quippy first. It was in making him relatable. He was awkward, financially broke, perpetually late, and burdened by guilt. His body language screamed, "Please don't look at me." When he got his powers, it wasn't an instant upgrade to confidence. It was a clumsy, terrifying, and ultimately joyous discovery. Maguire sold that wonder. And this is where the trilogy, especially Spider-Man 2, masterfully explores the theme of sacrifice. The central question wasn't, how do I beat the bad guy? It was, can I even be Spider-Man? The film argues that being Spider-Man isn't a gift. It's a responsibility that actively ruins Peter Parker's life. He loses his job, his grades tank. He can't be there for the woman he loves. The infamous scene where he stops the train isn't just a feat of strength. It's the moment a beaten, powerless New York sees his humanity and chooses to protect his secret. It's superhero cinema at its most profoundly human. The villains were extensions of this. They weren't world conquerors, they were tragic personal foils. Norman Osborn was a father figure gone mad. Otto Octavius was a good man corrupted by his own dream. Harry Osborn was a best friend twisted by vengeance. Their battles hurt Peter personally. The emotional stakes were always cranked to 11. Now, does it hold up? Visually, it's a mix. The CGI has its dated moments, sure. But what remains timeless is Raimi's practical, almost horror-tinged direction. The Goblin's gritty armor, Doc Ock's visceral, practical tentacles, the way the camera zooms and tilts with comic book melodrama. It has a handmade, passionate texture that some sterile CGI fests lack. It feels like a film, not just a product. In today's landscape of interconnected Avengers and multiversal chaos, Maguire's Spider-Man stands out for his grounded loneliness. He wasn't part of a team. No billionaire gave him a tech suit. He sewed his own, he paid his own rent, and he faced world-shattering problems with the weight of a regular kid from Queens. That smaller scale is what made the stakes feel so immense. So, is it perfect? The third film's dancing reminds us, maybe not, but the heart of the trilogy, Maguire's earnest, pained performance, Raimi's operatic direction, and an unwavering focus on character and sacrifice, that isn't just nostalgia, it's the foundation. It proved a superhero movie could be about more than cool fights. It could be a heartfelt, sometimes cheesy, deeply human drama. And in an era of constant superhero content, that raw emotional core, it doesn't just hold up, it still soars. What do you think? Does Tobey still reign supreme? Or has a new Spider taken his place? Swing down to the comments and let's talk. Who is the best and who is your favorite? Let's discuss it in this video and figure it out. There has never been a bad silver screen Spider-Man movie. Each Spider-Man brought its own charm. Who was your favorite? Comment down below.